Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're in Parkitect. We're at my own build theme park, Kitty Corners, and as you can see we are currently working on our main street area. We've begun with our burger and hot dogs over here. If I drop the scenery for you, so we've got a burger and a hot dogs here. We've made a seating area next to that. We've got a goods in department, toilets heading out in this direction, and somewhere to put the trash. So we need somewhere for some more food and some drinks and to go on from there. So I think we might work on this big area over in this corner for this episode. Now, I've been toying with the idea of whether to use the same sort of building materials as here and make a same colour build, or whether to change the colour, and I'm still not 100% sure whether I should change the colour or you keep the same one, to be honest. I'm wondering if it'd be overpowering if I'd make too many changes all at once, but I do think I want to go for the brick again. So let's find the walls first. There's the brick gone. I always have trouble finding the right material. There's so many. I'm not complaining that there's so many choices. Don't get me wrong. I'm really pleased that there are that many choices. But sometimes it is a little bit hard to get the right ones that you want. Right. So there's the brick walls. But I'm so wondering whether I have to change the colours. And if I change the colours, how big a change am I going to want to make? I want it to be a fairly repeatable colour. That's much too bright. If we went for the white, that's too pale. Is the blue going to be too much? Do you know what? I think I'm tempted to do blue. I know we've got a lot of blue here though, haven't we? If I do too much blue, do we go? Oh, indecisive, Kitty, indecisive. You shouldn't be so indecisive. I don't want to be crazy colours though either, so that's a subtle difference, but I don't want it to be crazy, you see. I just don't know. Do you know what? I think I'm going to stick with the traditional colour. Let's pick that up again from there. Right, I think I'm actually going to stick with the traditional brick. I don't want to be crazy, completely crazy. Right, so I want to use this big square, and I kind of want us to be able to get in from this side and from this side. So that's going to make it slightly more awkward. Right, so let's think. The corner of this build is going to be here, but I want a little bit of colour in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make slightly forward entrances here, and then the main body of the building here, if that makes sense. Right, so what I want to do is alternate. Is that? Yeah, and then I want to do the same at the opposite side. So where I've already added entrances, I want two entrances with a one wide gap in the centre to add a little bit of floral stuff in that centre section. Now this will make a lot more sense when I now go to the windows, because I want the windowed ones to be in between the gaps. So there's the gap where we're going to have an alcove for a little bit of planting in the centre there, and then along the sides I want windows. So we're starting to make the frame of the build, see? And then we're going to have a border around the edge of the build here where we can add a border of flowers. So what I then want to do is rotate around the edge here to leave space for that border of floral. And I want to do the same over here. We want windows, but we're also going to need access for the staff for the shops. Now, do I want 3 shops or am I going to want 4 shops? I'm just trying to decide how many spaces I need. I think we take 2 spaces, leave 2 spaces for the shop area, and then at the side of that we just put aside so that the shops will fit here. So then we'll need a little extra bit of staff path just back here for that. And I think that that is most of the basic structure. So we now need the doors. Now, what sort of doors do we have? I don't think we have a full door, do we, on this particular style? So we've got the open doorway here. So we want to put that on our 4 entrances, like so. Right, so the next thing we want now is some flooring. Now we're going to need a little bit of staff path. We're going to need to put staff path there so that they can get to the shops. Then we're going to want paths on the floor. Now what shall we make the interior of this one? Shall we make it a nice red brick floor, do you think, on this one? Or should we make it a nice wood? And you know what, I'm tempted to do wood on this one. Just want it to be a little different. There we go. Let's carefully fill in the interior of the floor. There we go. So that's the floor. Now we need our shops. So as we've already seen, we've done a burger and a hot dog. So for this one, let's do Chinese. And what else is a really good food place? And then in this gap that we've got over here, we'll put drinks. Want a nice big hearty food type. Ooh, pizza? Let's do pizza, shall we? Pizza. There we go. So those are going to be the 2, and we're going to need to add those to this. Going to need to add those. There we go. So that's added the shops to our goods in department we've got here. We also don't have a staff building here. We do have one over at the entrance, but it might be a good idea to add a staff building somewhere. Might even be able to add it in this corner here. Think that one through in a little minute. Right, so what do I need to do now? I need to add seating, don't I? So we've got to figure out how we're going to do the seating. Let's zoom in a little bit for this. Actually, do you know what? This archway might be a good idea to have that on the back as well. That's just completely for completeness' sake. That doesn't actually make any difference to the place at all, does it? Right, we want some curbs. Now we need to figure out where are we going to put these. I think we put them on this centre here, like so. And then I think we put one there and one there, so we can do 2 corners. We can do this corner thing as like a booth in each of these corners. So if we rotate over here, I think we've put like booths along this wall here. And then I think we put one right in the centre. And then we're going to want some seating. So benches. Now, which sort of benches are we going to go for inside here? Shall we go for the crazy fancy ones inside here? So we'll make a little booth in the corners, all the way along this side here. We'll make a booth there. We'll make a booth there, and we want a booth in this corner here. Yeah, does that look good? Then I think we want some trash bins. let's go for some fancy ones. I think we put one at either behind the near the doors, like so. And then I also think we put two right in the centre like this. And then we're going to need some nice lamps on the walls and things. So right, where were the wall lamps again? There were wall lamps, weren't there? We found those last time. Are they under details? They're definitely in here somewhere. Were they under details? Right, so where were they? There we go, lighting. I knew there was something somewhere, I just couldn't remember where it was. Right, so what sort of thing should we put? I'm going to go for these. Alright, we've got to figure out where we're going to put them. So on top of the... I can kind of make them on top of the window. At the ends, like this. Let's rotate around so we can see one in the middle. Like that, and then rotate again. Let's put them in the, whoops, put them in the corner at the top of the windows. Like that. I think that might work. And I think we did put a few, didn't we? We put a little something like this on the outside of the building, didn't we, before? How about we put them just on the edge of the building like so, and if we go around here we put them on the corners there and there, and then around this side we put one on the end there, and one there, and then one right in the middle, I think. Now we have to think about how are we going to do this roof structure. Are we going to do something, so shall we do the same as this one? I think we might do, actually. I think we might use the same roof because we've gone for the same colour. Oh, because of my style of build, that's not going to work terribly well though, is it? Okay, let's look for something else. I don't particularly want to go super high. Do we want to go a little bit higher maybe? This could be an interesting build if we do something different, couldn't it? But I don't want to go crazy, but I do wonder if maybe we should do something a little odd. Should we try something a little odd with this one? Let's go all the way along. Like so. And let's do that again. So we can have a weirdly shaped, different height building. This, I hope it'll be an interesting experimentation to do this. And then we're going to need roof structures now. See, we could go for something like that, but that's not really going to. Yeah, I don't think that type of roof's actually going to work on this build because of the shape of the roof that we're going to have, is it? We could go up and downs all the way along. But I don't know if that would look odd. What do you think? Would that look really weird? Or would that work? Because it would kind of look like we've And we want the one that's got the half and half in the middle. That's this one, isn't it? Oh, I didn't do the higher ones as well. Oops. Come on. Get to the right height. Right. And then we're going to need to go up. And then leave the end ones because we'll have to get the other end section again in just a second. And we want the end section, but we want to come all the way up. Oop, too far up. And rotate. 1, 2. I'll go all the way around like so. And then we're going to need the curb. It's not called curb, is it? It's called, it's the edging border. There we go, cornice. Flat cornice, and we're going to want it to be... Would red be... I think we're going to try it with the red for a splash of colour. Why does that look so much brighter than the brick when it's supposed to be the same colour as the brick? Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that's interesting, that, because I picked the brick colour, yet it looks brighter because it's a solid colour. I'm going to stick with it though, because it is the correct colour from the brickwork. I might have been tempted to make it a little bit darker, but I think we're going to go for it because I kind of want the park to be quite bright, because it's not meant to be real world. It is meant to be a fun place to come visit. Right, so we need to go down for the other edges. There, I think we're at the right place. So let's do these ends and then get that one and then turn. Now, do we do that? Yeah, I think we are going to do the edges where things meet, because I just want it to look finished off, if you see what I mean, and I also want it to look like the edges where the curbing could be, where guttering and stuff is, to make sure the rain comes off. Because I've got the heights, it can be slightly awkward to see where we are in between the buildings when you do like multiple upticks. So let's slowly work our way. So I've done that edge. Let's do the two ends. So the only thing we haven't done is this side here. Right, now we can see that edge better. So it's just a matter of turning around till you get to the right spot there. Now I think we've got all of the edges. Do you know what? I quite like that. I think that that's worked out quite well. It means the space on the top up here isn't usable, but I do like the fact that we've got a different shape. See, if you like playing with shapes, you could do a cross as well. If you've got an even number in both directions, you could make like a cross shape. But I kind of like this style with the edging over here like that. I like that. I do like that. So that is today's build. I do think we'll add a little bit of foliage though. So let's look for plants. Let's start with a few trees, shall we? Like something... You know what I'm tempted to do? I'm tempted to get the same colour that we've just done. Can they actually fit? Yeah, I can fit a couple of those. I like those sort of swirly trees. I think they're kind of cute. Something like willow and stuff is much too tall. How about one of these glossy pine things? That's a bit too dark, isn't it? Yeah, that would look odd. Dark green. Yeah, I just want a little bit of a variation in the shapes, you see. A small one and a tall one. Beautiful. Right, now we want some of the smaller plants and things. Do you know, let's grab a couple of vines and pop them on there. Just a couple of bits. I don't want to go overboard on... actually, I might put something else in that corner, so I'm going to leave that blank for the moment. There we go. I quite like these yucca plants. I think I love the spiky nature of them. It's just a very different texture to a lot of the other stuff. Right, let's see what we've got that's cute. Often go for the yellow, don't we? Let's just have a couple of the yellow ones in this border. We've done red and stuff in the other ones, haven't we? Oops, I've just unpaused it instead of turning. I meant to twirl and instead I unpaused it. Alright, so we're adding quite a bit of leaf texture at the moment. I'm going to add a few of these in a few of the gaps now. Just kind of filling it in, adding a bit of texture. I've got no plan to any of this, I'm just doing it all by hand and just by how I feel like doing it. I'm going to add a little mushroom in a corner here. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just going to add another one over here. Right. And just to add a little bit of something a little bit different here and there. I don't want to go absolutely crazy on everything. I'd kind of like to add a swirly bush. How bright is that? Is that too bit too... Actually, I don't even know if I've got space to add one because I've added quite a bit of stuff now. Actually, we might get one in there. Yes. Right, let's look along this front section. How full are we? Add one there. We can maybe add a little pumpkin in the back there. I just wanted to add all the different layers of texture and stuff behind. Can we add a bit of space for one of those at the back, maybe? There and there. Yeah, I think we're pretty much full now, unless we've got something really small to add in there. I think we're pretty good. Aren't we there? Pretty good, I think, there. Back we had one of these purple mushrooms in somewhere. There we go. I think that's probably about filled that up. Have we got space for anything like that? Are we full? I think we're fairly full, aren't we now, space-wise? It's a shame we've not got a bit of colour. Let's add a little bit of colour there for that. And I think we're about done on that then. I think we're pretty full. Because I'm thinking I might add a staff room into this corner. I think that might just be enough space for that. And then we'll also need some drinks. And yeah, I think that might be what we go from there. And then on this opposite side, I think we'll do things like souvenirs, sweets, maybe donuts and things, maybe as like 3 or 4 builds along this wall to finish off our main street. So that there is today's build. So hope that you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From Soft Kitty 99, goodbye and happy games!